Well, we're live. How about that, everybody? A bit early tonight. Chris Upton, he's waiting for his date. He's waiting for his date. He's all spruced up, ready. Hey, what do you reckon, Simon Spruce? Ready for the big debate. 4 people in the house and 4 thumbs up. If I don't see some thumbs up tonight, we're gonna have trouble. We've got 5 people in the house. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Simon. Good evening, Karen. Well said, Karen. What I want tonight is I want everybody to remain civil with each other, even if you've got disagreements. I'm not going to let this get heated, and I would like the moderators to take anybody out who is being rude. As simple as that. Anybody who's being rude. Now, I've got myself specially spliced up for this date because it's 7 years in the making. This is 7 years in the making. I've come on early because I want people to realize that I don't want this to be a witch hunt. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. People are entitled to their comments. But I want to give her a free chance to say what she feels and say what's affected her and how it's affected her. And she can question me in any way she wants. It's as simple as that. She can question me about my dog training. She can question me about the court case. And I will answer any questions. And I have files and files of evidence by the side of me that I will produce tonight if she wants to bring it on. Simple as that. Now, I'm going to be very, very disappointed after the amount of effort that she's made over 7 years. 8 years, Sue said. It's 8. Sue's in the background. Secret Sue is in the background. I've had to tie her to the chair, everyone. That's why the lights are off, because I don't want her running across the computer and kicking off on here. Because you know what Secret Sue's like. She really goes out of her way to offend anybody on the internet. She's not even on Facebook. She's not even on Facebook. Smart as a carrot. I've made an effort. Honestly, if you're going to have a first date, you might as well make an effort, mightn't you? You know, Sue said, "What the hell are you doing, you idiot?" I said, "Hang on. On a first date, you've got to make an impression, don't you? The woman's never trained with me, don't forget. Tina has never trained with me. She's just got it in for me. And she wants to make a statement, I hope. And, you know, this may be a long night, everybody. Or it may be a sort of a bit of a letdown, really. Have you ever been stood up for a date before? Very small, lovey. What? I hope you're not being rude, Simon Spruce, already. Anyway, so while we're waiting, and I'm sitting here patiently, I know I'm early. I always like to get early for a date, you know what I mean? Suss the place out, see how much the drinks are. Do I really want to stay? I want to thank everybody for their support over this and the screenshots that you've all been sending. We will be using these tonight, and we will be talking about these tonight if she wants to debate with me. She's been sent the video by someone who she doesn't know. We know she's got the video. I've seen a screenshot of it. She's got my phone number, and she can't say that she hasn't got my phone number. I've got her phone number, but I feel that this is her chance. She's had all day to do her makeup and hair and put on a glam rags and come on here because she's very obsessed with me. She wants to talk about me. She tells everybody that I can't name her. The police say I can't name her. She's told the Field Sports Channel they can't name her. They didn't name her because they just don't want the hassle from her non-stop. I see she was on the Field Sports Channel this week, sharing videos and arguing with everybody on there. People have sent me the screenshots. It's a sad, sad world, isn't it, really? When someone wants to try and ruin a man's business all over the internet and yet plaster lies and stuff all over the internet, and yet she doesn't want to come on at the moment and debate, but we could be prejudging her. We are early, so we've got to give her some time, don't we? We've got to give her some time. I'd rather have a laugh and a drink and talk about things that's happened this week in your life and my life. My heart goes out to Brett. Like everybody on the group knows, he lost his little 6-month-old cocker, and he phoned me last night. Ex-army, ex-military. He was so upset. I'm not talking behind out of school, but he was really upset. You could hear him. He was really, really deeply upset. He'd been crying like a baby. He said, these people don't realize how much these dogs mean to us, do they? Just because we use corrections, it doesn't mean we care. And when you lose a 6-month-old dog like that, if you were me, listening to that last night at 11 o'clock or whatever time Brett rung me, once he found out the news, because I'd rung him earlier to find out if he'd heard any news, because we're a caring group and we do care about our dogs. Now, if someone has seen that, that would win hearts and minds, wouldn't it? Do you think he made that up? Do you think he was crying because he made it up? No, because he was devastated, because he put so much work into that little pup and it was such a little cracker. And he'll always have those memories with that little dog and those videos that he took. But what a sad situation. That's how much it hurts us. When you've had a dog for 10, 15 years and it dies, it's terrible. You'll never forget that dog, those memories you've had because you worked that dog. But it's not quite the same as losing a young dog, I don't think. It's not that you've not been with the dog and worked in the field so much. It's what you could have done with the dog. And so really sad situation there. And our heart goes out to him. And I think everybody in the group just showed how fantastic it was, how they rallied round and sent support to him. And I really appreciate that from the group. That is what our group is about. It's about supporting people and helping people with problem dogs. These people out there criticizing, they have no idea what a wonderful group we have on Patreon. And we're on Patreon because we don't want the hassle from the big wide world of the internet out there, because I've been there, seen it, and had to deal with it. And I don't want you people having to go through that. As simple as that. That's it, Steve Pace. You did right.
All the spanners are in tonight.
So it's really nice that the spanners, as we say, the moderators are in tonight. Thank you, Alan, for coming in. Thank you, Andy Stead, for coming in. And like I said, I don't want people getting heated. I want it to be a sensible debate. I'm going to give her every chance to put a whole side of the story across, because she's on every forum at the moment, sharing a video and getting into cat fights with everybody. And at the end of the day, there was people gone in there and they fed her the truth. She couldn't take it. She disappeared. And she said she just wants to be left alone. How does this woman want to be left alone if she's on every forum spreading gossip and lies and slander? As simple as that, everybody. Your questions are coming up so fast, everybody. I will get down to them and answer them. And I want to thank you all for coming in. I didn't even know how many people were going to come in, because this is old news really to us, isn't it? It's old news. But there comes a point where you have to make a stand. We've gone a whole year now after winning the court case, and I didn't think we'd lose. I thought she'd just niggle. But the way she's put up 2 videos in the last week, one's been taken down by YouTube. One has been taken down. We put a complaint in about it and it's been taken down. I don't want to complain about videos she puts up, but when she's sharing lies and slander, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to deal with it in a different way. Don't get into a cat fight for me. I'm not going to get in a cat fight for anyone. John Wilson. Evening, Alan. It's Alan Chadwick was one of the first ones who supported me going back years and years about this rubbish. And at the end of the day, he stood at my side and he supported us. And there was people on the Field Sports channel and the BASC, and she got a bit of an ear bashing then from everybody, but she just loves it. So I appreciate Alan coming in, and I appreciate the people who support me in here. And like I say, I don't mind who comes in and supports her, who wants to defend her, but we're going to start off with some home truths, simple home truths, right? And I was given a time to come in. It's a woman's prerogative to be late, isn't it? Is that what they say? Can you believe that this woman is so obsessed with saying to people, and we've got the screenshots, and you've seen the screenshots with the video I put up if you took your time to read them, saying that all she wants to do is be left alone. Why is she going into groups and sharing a video about me and putting up edited videos of dog training videos that the Field Sports channel used and Gilly Nichols? And she's now turning around saying, if he leaves me and that that other lady alone. He'll never hear from me again. I've left her alone for a number of years. So, Paul Jarvis, I did hope this was all dead and buried, but here we go again. That's the whole point, isn't it, Paul? I want it to disappear. I want her to disappear. I want to train people with dogs. We've gone over to Patreon for that purpose, so it doesn't upset everybody on YouTube, because there's so much stuff on YouTube that is terrible. Look how many views we got, everybody. We've got 95 people in here. So obviously there's people in here who want to listen to this, isn't there? We've only got 18 thumbs up. Perhaps you'll get more thumbs up when Tina comes in. When Tina McDowell, who wants to tell everybody in the world how evil I am and how much I lie, and she's got the evidence, she can bring it on, can't she? She can show us. Chris, she has bottled it. Rant, rant, rant. Bill, it's sad as she's bottled it, isn't it? 99 now. Look at that. If we go into the 100, oh, she's disappeared. She was listening. She's disappeared. But she knows it's on because we shared it all over the place. Good evening, Kev Fielding. Nice to hear from you, boy. How you doing? All right. Martin Lawrence, good evening. Daniel Quinn's in the house. Paul Kennedy's in the house. David Brown's in the house. John Archer's in the house. Pierre's in the house. Jonathan Wakefield is in the house. We mentioned Alan. Denver Skinner, good evening to you. Ian Gaunt, good evening. Said good evening to John. Paul, Sean Penrose, good evening. Julian Lees, good evening. Nice to hear from you. Listen, Tina's taxidermist here. Evening, Chris and Sue. Hope you're all well. Don't talk about squirrels. Don't talk about squirrels. She may go after you. Earthbound Pheasant, been there with a pup yet. We know what it's like. It's a horrible situation, losing a pup. Adam Hudson, good evening. So there's Sean Raymont's good evening. Brett Nahum, he's in the house. Sorry, Brett's in the house. How are you doing, Brett? All right. Phil Watkins is in the house. Earthbound Pheasant and Jason. Like I said, absolutely fantastic. This group watches my back, feeds me stuff when it's there. You're not doing it to cause trouble. You're doing it to watch my back and my business, because this woman has affected your business. Anybody can affect your business on the internet with lies and slander. So she's had 5 minutes. What time is it? She's 5 minutes late. Eric English in the house. Hello, Eric. How are you, boy? So what I would like to do, let's start off. Eric Irish. Sorry, my fault. Eric English. Eric Irish. Sorry. Are you still doing moving into houses that have been flooded and burnt down, Eric? I think that's the Eric Irish I'm thinking about. Frank Casey, hi Chris and Sue. Hope all goes well tonight. On your side, she might go away after tonight. I don't think she will, Frank, but guess what? I'm burying it now after that. I'm just not even replying to any of the messages that she ever puts up. I've offered her a forum so she can give her side. I'm just like fed up with it. I've contacted the police. Like I said to you people, I don't lie to you. I've contacted the police because I've told the police exactly what I'm doing. And they may be listening in. Like I said, they said they may monitor it. They may monitor it live, or they may monitor it tomorrow and watch it through to see if I've said anything that's offensive or she said anything offensive. So anything she says on here, remember that court saying anything you say may be taken down in evidence and used against you. Now, perhaps a lot of you have never been to court and a lot of you have never heard these sayings, but let's start off from the very start. Let's just start off really quickly. And let's just blow this all out of the water. So she's now saying at the moment that I've got a restorative order against me. And that means that I can't contact her. I can contact her. Restorative order form doesn't mean you can't contact her. It means you've said you won't. Right? And that's what I said. But it doesn't last forever. It's like what you give kids if they get up to something like smash a window and run off, or go into someone's garden and nick their apples or something like that. It's like breach. It's not a breach of the peace even. It's just you're agreeing to behave yourself and not phone anybody or offend anyone. That all came to, and I'll just show you on here. 3rd of the 4th, 2015. 3rd of the 4th, 2015. That's when I was given a restorative order for ringing her at 5 a.m. and saying to her, why are you still carrying on after 3 years? That's what happened. 3 years. And I did tell her a number of things down the phone, and I was offensive. And I was offensive for one reason. When I phoned her, thinking she was living on her own, and she was a woman, so I didn't want to be offensive, the phone went. She picked it up that early in the morning. I'm thinking that she's in the bedroom. She might not be in the bedroom at 5 in the morning, but I only reason I rung her at 5 in the morning, my phone was going ping, 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 and people were sending me messages and screenshots of what she's saying and how she's rubbishing my good name again after I begged her to leave me alone. I've tried debating with her. I tried to be rude to her. That didn't work. I thought I'm wasting my time. She wouldn't debate. Well, she's had the chance tonight, hasn't she? And she's not here at the moment, but I know she's listening. So we got 103 people in here listening for you, Tina. You've never had 103 people listen to you. What you have to do is share it on thousands and thousands of groups, spreading lies and slander, Tina. So let's go back to the restorative order. If you treat me in a decent manner, I'll treat you in a decent manner. So the phone, I ring her at 5 in the morning and she picks up the phone. And I said to her, and it's on tape, and she's played the tape thousands of times. I said to her, why are you ringing me? What is wrong with you? No, why are you talking about me nonstop? Why are you saying that I beat dogs? And somebody in the background with a London accent said, pass me the effing phone, I'll effing tell him. Now that is like a red rag to a bull to me. Someone wants to start swearing down the phone to me. I come from an area where I could swear just as much as anybody else, right? I can look after myself verbally or physically, especially 25, 30 years ago. It wasn't 25, 30 years ago. I was quite a sensible person. I've got a shotgun license, don't want to lose it. You can't go threatening people. I didn't threaten her. I didn't know that much about her other than she wouldn't leave me alone. And she's telling everybody that I got this restorative order from the police and got taken into a police station and questioned under oath. Yes, I did. And they said, are you ashamed that you've upset her, Mr. Upton? I said, not in the slightest. And they said, sorry? I said, not in the slightest. If you could see what she's done to me and my business in the last 3 years, I have no doubt that she was upset once I let rip. Did you call her a spastic, Mr. Upton? I said, no, I didn't call her a spastic. I called her a fucking spastic. Now, I'm not saying that to be rude or derogative, and please don't monitorize me for that. I'm being totally honest. And the only reason I said that is because the bloke was swearing to me in the background, and I said, pass me to the brave bastard in the background, and that wound me up. If it was a woman on her own, in a house on her own, I can tell you I wouldn't have swore unless she was swearing at me. She didn't swear. She tries to come across as prim and proper. She doesn't like swearing. But the Cockney person in the background caused that. Now, when it went to the police station and they produced the tape and said, the recording, and said, is this you, Mr. Upton? I said, yes, it's me. In the police station, under caution. Yes, it's me. Did you swear at her? Yes, I did. Do you know it's a criminal offence to swear at somebody down the phone? Jesus Christ. Swear at somebody down the phone, it's a criminal offence. We could all get locked up for that, couldn't we, if that's a crime? I'm sure a lot of us have swore over the years, haven't they? Tina, give us a wave. Or at least thumbs down so we know you're here. There you go, see? So I'm starting off with the basics of when she first lied to the police. And then I said to the police officer, you haven't got the full conversation there. How can you make judgment when you haven't got the full conversation? You've only got part of the conversation. So he went upstairs and left me in the room with the solicitor. The solicitor said, you have the right to say nothing, Mr. Upton. They've got nothing on you other than you've made a phone conversation to a woman and she's made a complaint. So the solicitor said, I would take this. It means nothing. Restorative order. It means it's not a criminal offence. I said, will it affect my shotgun licence? I didn't know it was an offence to swear at somebody down the phone who was swearing at you. Yeah, but you haven't got the proof they were swearing at you, Mr. Upton. That's your word against their word. So, well, hang on. Half the conversation's there. And why do you hear the bloke in the beginning of the conversation and says nothing, as if he wasn't there? But if you listen to the beginning of the tape, and it doesn't need Sherlock Holmes or a solicitor to work that out, you hear me saying, pass me to the brave bastard in the background. Now, why would I be saying that to Tina McDowell if she wasn't with anybody? Now, in the statement to the police, she said she was on her own and she was frightened. Number one lie, Tina. In court, you get ripped to shit. You'd get ripped to shit in court, Tina, and we had the evidence and we were bringing it. We were bringing it. Now, these people here may switch off and they may have had enough, Tina, but guess what? This is your show, Tina. This is the Tina McDowell show, and you've had a chance to come on here, Tina. So you've told everybody, I've never had a restorative order given to me. What you should have had, Tina, a long, long time ago is an harassment order, because you are harassing me and my business. That is the law. But the law is an ass, because in Scotland, the law is different than it is in England. And so do we go by Scottish law because you live in Scotland, or do we go by English law, Tina? So I accepted the restorative order after complaining and saying it's unfair what they're doing. You should be getting one. But I just thought, I can't be bothered. I won't be contacting you. So let's have a look at the date, Tina, that you're still talking about it. 3rd of the 4th, 2015. 3rd of the 4th, 2015. Guess what's on that restorative order form, Tina? My contact number to ring me here direct. You've got this because you shared it all over the internet with my name, my address, my postcode, right? What happened then, Tina? Somebody came round my yard and said I beat and kicked dogs and they're going to kill me. He got some restorative order justice. I said to him, if you come onto my premises, I'm not going to be a happy bunny. Now leave. I'm calling the police. So I called the police, Tina, and the police said, is he in your premises or is he outside your premises? And I didn't lie. I didn't say I'm sitting on his neck, restraining him. I said, no, he's outside the premises, but he's been kicking my gate that's got a lock on it. And the 999 person said, if he's not in your premises, then why are you calling 999? I said, because I don't want any trouble because I'm a shotgun license holder. That's what I said, Tina, because I have to adhere to the law. I said, but I have a right to defend myself, and he's threatened to kill me. If he comes into my premises, he's going to regret it. And he did when he tried to climb over my gate, Tina. I gave him some discipline. Didn't want to give him discipline, Tina, but I warned him not to come into my premises. So, Tina, the police were phoned. The police did an inspection, inquiry about the whole incident. And on here, Tina, we have an apology from the police that they should have acted quicker with somebody threatening you on your premises. And would you please let them deal with their own operator and give them guidance? And next time they wish us better service than they did. No charges for assault, Tina. Yes, I did punch him, Tina. And I did give him a nose-changing appearance as he went up the road. The police rung me 2.5 hours later and said, are you still having problems, Mr. Upton? Would you recognize him if you saw him again? I said, you would. Why is that? I said, because he got claret coming out of his freaking nose. Didn't want to do that, Tina, but I have a right to defend myself. Why did that happen? Why did you get somebody punched in the nose, Tina? Because you instigated hatred that I beat and kicked dogs. Why did the RSPCA come here, Tina? Because you instigated that I beat and kicked dogs. No charges. No charges at all. 123 people here, Tina. You could really be a film star at the moment. You could really tell me where I'm going wrong. Stephen Webb, timing is everything, Chris. And the master of timing. Exactly. If someone's coming at me in an aggressive manner and wanting to film it as well on a silly Nokia phone, but unfortunately the Nokia phone ended up on the floor like he did, then smashed, and he went running up the road like a squealed pig. I thought I'd hurt him at one point because he went off the top of the bank where I hit him with a peach. Don't want to have to tell these stories, Tina, but the truth is the truth. So, Tina, we goes to court because you make allegations that are untrue. We goes to court. Look, Tina. Citadel solicitors, Tina. It's all the facts. Should we read the first one out, Tina, or should we read the last one out? Should we? You come on, Tina. Please come in. It'll be far more exciting for everybody. Everyone's getting bored already, and we're going to have to stop for refreshments in a minute and have an interval. These people want to talk about dog training and having a nice life, not listening to this shit. So, in true fashion, because if obviously the police are listening, could I have when we say bollocks on here, Tina, we're not being rude to each other. We actually mean we like the straight talking. Like the slogan for the group says, bollocks, show us your dog. Never mind the bollocks, show us your dog. So should we talk about what I've achieved, Tina, in the gun dog world, or should we talk about what you've achieved, Tina, and you're trying to tell everyone that I've never achieved anything in the gun dog world? Shall I go and get my file out with my awards in there and what I've achieved, or shall I start putting up screenshots of people who have supported me and they brought statements to go to court, Tina, that you didn't want to go, but we did our own work. We worked very hard for 12 months, Tina, to have a case that would rip a hole in anything that you were going to show. But you didn't turn up, Tina, did you? You didn't turn up.
Not turning up tonight, are you?
Not turning up tonight neither, Tina, are you? We gave you a platform. We promised you good debate. So, in the group, could you please, if you want me to carry on, could you please give me a bollocks? Bollocks means we're going to carry on, Tina. A no means we won't carry on. We'll just forget it and move on. So if they want me to carry on and show some evidence once and for all for everybody on the internet to see that you, Tina, are a liar and a con artist and you play the victim, you're a snowflake who plays the victim. Now, sorry, I take that back. I don't want to call you a snowflake at the moment. Look at this, Tina. Everybody is saying bollocks. That means that they want to hear more. So this is my solicitor. My solicitor is not cheap. This is my solicitor. I think you'll find he charges £350 an hour. Right? I don't know if you can see that, everybody. That's my solicitor. Right? Kevin Hopper. He's not cheap. But do you know these people giving bollocks on here, Tina? They paid for that. They paid for me to be able to go to court and take you on. These kind people in this room, on this site, that you could have told them all the nasty things about Christopher, they paid. It didn't cost me a penny to go to court about you because they crowdfunded me. Aren't I a lucky chap? You've upset my wife so much, Tina, that if I wasn't level-headed and I didn't control myself and I was the person that you're saying, you would have got a visit from me. But you're lucky that I'm not the person you're trying to portray. Because if you live in a remote farm and it would take the police hours to find you or find me, you could be in serious trouble. Your comments about the police have got my registration number to my vehicle. What vehicle is that, Tina? Is that my tour bus that broke down in a lay-by? Nowhere near your place, Tina, because I know exactly where you live. You don't live in Dumfries, Tina. Well, you do live in Dumfries, but Dumfries is a freaking great big place, isn't it, Tina? But you don't live 2 miles from Dumfries, do you, Tina? You lied to the police. They were running up and down the roads looking for a horse box. But I was broken down in a lay-by nowhere near your place, Tina. And you lied. And they thought that you were in danger because you played the victim, because you were watching the live feeds of me reporting back to people on the road show saying, I'm here, I'm there, and I was talking about the breakdown where I was. The police could have come to me at any time they wanted. The police could have rung me at any time they wanted. I was on the phone, Tina. I'm accessible all the time, Tina. I've got nothing to hide. So I'll pay a visit next time I'm in Dumfries on Friday. No, Paul, please don't say things like that. That may be funny, but it's not funny because I'm not being funny, mate. I don't want people. She will take that and she will run with it and say, now he's said he's telling his friends to go and visit her. You were mentioned yesterday on a feed I saw that you live on the Recluse estate. No one gave away your address. You live on the Recluse estate. I've given away your address in the past because you gave out my address, and I don't want my address given out to crankies who are obsessed with I'll kill anybody, I'll chop them up, I'll murder them, who does anything to any dog like that. That is disgraceful. You are creating a shitstorm by playing the victim. You haven't won the debate about dog training because I've won that, haven't I, Tina? 7,000 subscribers. 5,500 videos, Tina, and you've watched every one of them. You keep saying you've never watched them. How come you keep editing them if you're not watched them? And 3.5 million views. Who else is on the internet as a gun dog trainer, Tina, making a living on the internet, teaching people on the internet? Name a gun dog trainer that actually doesn't need to gun dog train anymore out there in the field or taking customers because he's making enough money, enough income, because these kind of people are paying for it, Tina. Why do you think people have come in? Because I haven't talked about you, Tina, for a long time, but now you're getting the home truths. This is the last video I'm ever doing about you, Tina. The police know about it, Tina. 8th of December 2019. This is from my solicitor, Kevin B. Hopper. I'm writing to confirm the outcome of the hearing at the above court on Friday, the 6th of December 2019. The case was listed for an appeal against the order made by the district judge at Plymouth Magistrates restraining order on acquittal. The prosecution has concluded that no evidence has been called to support the application, and the process adapted by the district judge and supported by the prosecution was unlawful. Did you hear that? Unlawful, Tina. She shouldn't have given a restraining order. You can't give a restraining order, Tina, if you've not given the person you're giving the restraining order time to show the evidence why he shouldn't have a restraining order. The district judge didn't do that. The district judge said, this is ridiculous. This has gone on for over 5 years. This has got to stop. So to make it stop, I'm going to give Mr. Upton a restraining order. And my argument was, no, I'm not accepting a restraining order because you need to give her a restraining order because she is the problem and you haven't looked at the evidence. She said, I've read so much evidence, it's unbelievable. This case would go on for 2 months. This needs to stop. So we did not do a plea bargain, like you've told everyone. We did not accept it. The prosecution did not oppose your appeal, and the restraining order was squashed. The defense cost was made to cover your legal costs incurred by me. That was for the restraining order, not the big case. The big case was different. We won that hands down as well. Devon and Cornwall Police, look, Tina, let me just read it off there. Devon and Cornwall Police. I write to inform you that the following telephone conversation dated the 4th of January in relation to an upheld police complaint. I can now advise you that the crime of harassment has been recorded under the crime number CR1441/18. Did you get that, Tina? Did you get that? Due to the passage of time and statutory time limits for inciting criminal proceedings, this matter will now be filed. As advised in the letter from Superintendent Whittle, there is no further grounds for your appeal on this. In other words, Tina, Devon and Cornwall Police were so busy investigating and trying to find something about me, Tina, that I'd done wrong, that I put a complaint against you for harassment. They then looked at it in the complaints department once I complained against the police, and they said, yes, you had a complaint against harassment from her, but it is timed out because it took over 12 months, nearly 2 years, Tina, for them to investigate. That is how poor the Devon and Cornwall Police dealt with it, Tina. I wish they'd dealt with it in the proper way because you would have had a criminal record for harassment, Tina. Right? So we have tried to take you to court. We've begged you to stop. We've said we'd take down the videos if you take down your videos. The police contacted me and said, Mr. Upton, if we could get the two of you to talk, you in a police station and her in a police station, and we put a screen up so we can monitor it from station to station, so we can video it from station to station, because she's not going to come all the way from Scotland. Would you be willing to thrash it out with her and sort this out so it doesn't continue? I said, yes, I would. What did you say, Tina? You want your day in court. Did you go to court, Tina? You could have. You could have, Tina, because let's have a look. Devon and Cornwall Police again. What does it say on there? Threat to kill incident. Following receipt of your call on the 19th of January 2017, this is when you were really kicking off again, Tina. CAD reference, that's 999 reference if you want to know, 215 refers to, have you been asked to review a telephone conversation regarding an incident that you reported to 999 on the 16th of January 2017? That's the guy I punched in the nose, Tina. The call handling supervisor that spoke to you on the 19th of January advised me that you do not wish to make a formal complaint, but you would like the call to be reviewed and the call handler given appropriate advice. I can now advise you that this has been reviewed and the call, and having spoken to the call handler, I have put appropriate management action in place. I hope you can feel confident if you ring 999 in the future, you can expect to receive appropriate and timely response. That poor bloke may have not got a punch in the nose, Tina, if the police had turned up. They didn't turn up, Tina, because they were fed up with you ringing them non-stop, and they wanted an incident to kick off. They wanted an incident to kick off so they could take my guns off me, Tina. They came to me and said, can I take your guns off you, Mr. Upton? I said, no, go away. Go and get a solicitor. If you do it this time, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the Devon and Cornwall Police. Not that I want to cause trouble with the police, Tina, because you've instigated hatred. You've instigated hatred with other people. Other people do your dirty work, Tina. So you didn't win the court case. You could have come to court, Tina. You didn't come to court. I've got a letter here where it says that she was offered to come to court. Right, okay. I'm writing to you following the case management hearing above the court on the 28th of May. The prosecution offers no evidence against relation to your charge of harassment, and the district judge found you not guilty of all offences. The district judge stated that she had read the case papers and was concerned in relation to the phone calls made to you in 2018. Hang on, Tina. Hang on, everybody. You don't need to be Sherlock Holmes. Did you see that 2018? The only time I phoned you, Tina, was the 3rd of the 4th, 2015. 3 years after, you're saying that I'm still ringing you up. Why would I be ringing you up unless I want to get in trouble? You're a liar, Tina. So I informed the district judge. The district judge said that you received case papers and phone call made. That was factually incorrect. Did you hear that, Tina? Factually. There you go again. Look, factually incorrect. And no contact had been made between you and the complainant for some considerable time. 2015, 2018. You don't even get your dates right, do you, Tina? It was thrown out, Tina. It was thrown out. We're not accepting a restraining order when we haven't done anything wrong. We appealed against it. We won. They shouldn't have given the restraining order. So you're telling everybody on the internet, Tina, that Chris Upton got a restraining order. I've never had a restraining order. You should have been sectioned, Tina. In reality, you should have been sectioned. But you can only help yourself. You need to get some mental health help. You need to go to the doctor. And I'm not being rude. I'm not being rude in any way, Tina, because we could have discussed this. That have you got mental health problems? Because I've got messages that you're an alcoholic. You've said today that you're not an alcoholic. I don't know whether you're alcoholic, but it seems to be wine o'clock at some point that you used to kick off, Tina. Wine o'clock.
It was only your friends that mentioned that.
And it was only your friends who mentioned that, Tina.
Well, ex-friends.
Ex-friends, because you've lost them all. See what Sue said in the background? Your ex-friends, because you've lost them all. You've got no following, Tina. You're having to put lies and slander on groups, and this has got to stop. It's as simple as that. So I've got to make one video, Tina, don't I? And I gave you every option to come in. So I don't know what is the point of carrying on, everybody. We've got 120 people in here with 40 thumbs up. Obviously, you've got more fans than me, Tina, because obviously there would be, if there was a thumbs down button, you'd see lots of thumbs down. Could somebody inform me how many thumbs down we've actually got in this? Because there's bound to be 3. because she's got 3 people who support her that I know of because we've seen the screenshots. Do you know, if you go on to the suicide group on the internet, Tina, and you tell them you've been abused, you're going to get people, one thumbs down, thank you everyone, you're going to get people saying, poor girl, poor lady, that's no way to treat a woman. You're not a woman, you're an evil person, Tina, and I'm being totally honest with you. I couldn't be more honest. And
No, she's not. I don't think she's evil.
she's not evil. Sue's going to tell you something now.
No, I don't agree with that. Sorry.
She doesn't think you're evil, Tina. I think you're evil because no, Tina. I'm going to argue with my wife here now because of you, Tina. Because of you, I think you're evil, Tina, because I've had to sit here and watch my wife shaking. Somebody who does that to somebody's wife, I don't know how I've got the strength sometimes to bite my lip and not freaking say what I really want to say about you, Tina. But I'm trying to act professional.
I personally think that she's damaged. But the person who's evil in this relationship is her carer or living boyfriend, whatever, because the word carer, he should be actually caring for her.
So did you hear that, everybody? I don't know if you heard that. Sue's saying that the carer is the one who's caused this because they should be caring for her. I don't know what the financial situation is. I don't know what the live-in situation is, other than she's not making these videos. She's not editing these videos. Someone's editing them who knows what they're doing on the internet, because they've had to learn how to do it, because when they first started it was rubbish. But the stuff she comes out with is boring, to be honest with you. Let's be honest, it's boring. She's not made any inroads at all. Sue is right. Evil, no. Deranged. Well,
I said damage, you said deranged.
Well, there you go. But I got to disagree with you there, Michael. If you're sitting there watching your wife shaking, physically so upset, scared to even make, see, well, my wife still will not pick up the phone.
No, that's wrong in Tina's eyes. I'm a what am I?
Hang on, Sue's evil. Sue's evil. My daughter's evil. The whole family is evil.
No, it wasn't evil. It wasn't that. It was, what was it? Nasty.
Nasty. Oh, here we go. See, petty talk, isn't it?
Kate and me, and I've never even got involved.
See that? Sue's never got involved. She kept out of it, but she's not as outspoken as me, perhaps. Is that the word? Perhaps outspoken. I'm sorry, but I would not plague somebody's wife. I would not plague somebody's wife if...
Yeah, but she's got no empathy.
Right? I don't plague people. If people go after me, I have a right to defend my good name. But I don't keep going and lying about things. Alan Tabrick says, Sue, we all support you, and you have. And without your support, you people, I think I would have just given in. I would have closed everything down. But you made me stronger. You made me fight. You told me to keep going. And with your help, your support, we have built a group of people that will stand up to these people. And I don't argue with people who have a disagreement with me or don't agree with my methods. I just have a right to stand up when someone will not stop. And not stop. The court case was not, she keeps going, the court case was nothing to do about dog training. It was a lot to do with dog training, because that's how it started. But it then got interpersonal. She got really nasty and bitter and went after me, saying that I abused my clients, I abused my customers. She even contacted my clients in Facebook and said to I mean, Alan's got a young daughter, Jess, and Jess was coming in, I think, when she was 13, 14. He was even arguing with Jess, who had been here training. Lovely girl, lovely family. Alan wasn't rude to her. He told her, but guess what? She just goes after everybody. She goes after everybody and anybody who disagrees with her. But she's got no backing. She's got no following, really. But you could say, well, why are you bothering then, Chris? Because she escalates it and builds it up by sharing it on silly groups. The latest one she shared on is Clicker Gun Dogs. I don't go on Clicker Gun Dogs telling them what they're doing right or doing wrong, or whether I agree or don't agree. I don't care about their ideology. I don't want to even debate with them unless they want proper debate, sensible debate. But I don't want to fall out with those people. But she knows if I put it on there, most of those people will be into positive only training, and they'll attack him and do my dirty work for me. That's exactly what she's doing, everyone. She's an idiot. Virtue signaler. I agree. I agree, Alan. And that's the problem. As soon as you speak your mind, then people will say, well, you can see why she's upset, can't you, Chris? Because of the things you said about her, right? She's created this herself, but she could have come in tonight and had Matthew, clicker gun dogs. Yeah, clicker gun dogs. No, see, the problem is, it's like anything. I love my gun dog. I love my Fluffy. She's in them sites. There's thousands of them out there on the internet, and they've probably got 2,000 members, and they're all going, well done, stand up stand up for clicker training, stand up for what we want to do. Don't care about that. They can go away and do that. But when she sells lies and my video with the screenshots, what was happening, Tina? You didn't even realize what was happening, because we'd already been informed of you posting on so many groups on the internet, and they were screenshot and sent to me. So I was, as you were making lies and slander about me, I kept feeding people what to say to you. The total truth, Tina. And I bet you thought, how the hell do these people know so much about me and the situation? It's because I was feeding them the truth, Tina. And you disappeared back onto your stone for 2 hours, but you wanted more. But the screenshots show that you went on there and kicked off. No one set you up to go on there and kick off. You went on these groups and kicked off. And so many people contacted me and said, screenshot, look what she's doing. Look what she's doing. And people, in my defense, went there. I didn't ask them to go on there and kick off. They went on there to read those comments to make sure that there was nothing seriously damaging. And they played you like a fish, Tina. They played you like a fish. Everything you said and garbled out of your mouth. And it was, I mean, when you read it, it's entertaining. It's entertaining. I swear, it's entertaining. But the problem is you've lied that much over the years, Tina. You don't even know what's a lie and what's the truth now. So some of it is little bits of truth added with exaggerations to the level that you just fucking lost the plot. And that's what the police found out when they started to investigate, Tina. They went, hang on, this isn't one-sided. This is two people having an internet war. And guess what? You asked for it. I told you, Tina, leave me alone, go away, and you'll never hear from me. But you didn't want that, did you? You wanted to be made famous. Chris, you offer such a fantastic experience. Meeting you and training with you has honestly been amazing. A training weekend at yours is such a good crack. Thank you. Can't wait to book again. Thank you so much indeed, Sean. And you've been beasted. He's been beasted, everybody, and he still wants more. We had Ian Gaunt on here earlier. Ian's on here. He phoned me up and he said, next time, can you not say that video was not very good? I have to be honest with you. And then we had someone come on today and say, could you criticize my video? I don't criticize people's videos. I critique your videos to help you learn. And it's a fantastic group on Patreon, and you're a great bunch. And we have a laugh because what is constructive criticism, Tina? Could you explain to me what constructive criticism is? Because that's what you're getting at the moment. Without being rude, Tina, you could say you're having a bit of an arse whipping, but you had the chance to be here and defend yourself, and you didn't want it. But not one person on here have I seen that somebody has been very rude that I've had to say, no, take that down, please. Has any of the admin actually had to take anything down at the moment? No. Isn't that wonderful, everybody? We've all been beasted. See what I mean, Tina? They love it. They love it. If you came on here, Tina, you may enjoy being beasted. You may learn something. Right. So then you told the police, Tina, that I'm into bondage and I'm into whipping and tying people up and stuff like this. And the police questioned me in the police station for 6 hours, Tina. 6 hours. Honestly, the Craze got less interview than that. The Craze. And
that's not very nice when you're sitting at home wondering what the hell's going on.
Also, yeah, that's not very nice when you're sitting at home wondering what's going on. Your wife is at home worried that your husband has been detained in the police station. I wasn't detained. I sat there and answered every frigging question they give me, Tina. Guess what my solicitor said? You have the right to remain silent, Mr. Upton. You don't have to say anything. They'll try and tie you up. I says, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I've got nothing to hide. Guess what I did with the RSPCA, Tina? 3 hours. 3 hours with the RSPCA, Tina, and he was sweating like a rapist when I shook his hand. I said, by God, man, your hands are sweating. He said, I've never had an interview like it.
You do like to talk for England.
See what Sue said? I do like to talk for England. Honestly, who needs friends like her when I've got Tina? But at the end of the day, the firearms police are the same, Tina. You've made allegations that the firearms police are in my pocket because they did me a favor and give me my guns back. No, the firearms police took my guns off me because of allegations that you made, Tina. But I won that case as well in court, didn't I, Tina? Everything you've thrown at me, Tina, I've won. That must be demoralizing, isn't it? Sometimes you've got to give a dog a bit of success. I'm not calling you a dog, Tina. I'm not calling you a dog. I'm talking about a dog, right? A bit of success. So Michael says, so this is asking Chris to say nothing. That's what Kevin said. He said, we're winning this. Just shut up. I wanted the court case to go ahead, everybody. I mean it. And you could ask Kevin. He said, no, you don't. You've won it. You don't want it to go ahead. I said, I do. I want it to go ahead. I want her in court in front of us with the evidence. I've collected all the evidence. I've built the case. I've given it you. You said we can win this hands down. Now win it. Do your job. It's easier to get it thrown out of court, isn't it? On a technicality.
That she didn't turn up.
That she didn't turn up. That she didn't want to come to court. Is that a person? I'll tell you what, I'd be the first person in that court if I'd been called to court in Scotland. I'd be whipping up to Scotland. I'd do a bit of rabbit shooting on the way back as well. How about that?
Well, I'm Secret Sue, but
so we've had 51 minutes of this, everybody. Are you fed up yet? If you want to go on to something else, we can go on to something else. I mean, this was the Tina McDowell show. I'm really, really cheesed off now. Do you know what? I know I'm getting ugly. I know I'm getting fat. I know that I'm not as pretty as I used to be.
What do you mean getting?
See what Sue said? What do you mean getting? She's a cheeky cow. Can I say that? Can I actually say that to my wife, or is that derogative, everyone?
Or it would be to some women.
Would that be derogative? Would that be derogative? I mean, if the police are watching, they said, Mr. Upton, at 52:06, did you not call your wife a cow? I think that would be cruel to cows. But guess what? It's where I come from. I'm dyslexic. Things come out of my mouth. Take him to court, Sue. Yeah, that's it, John. Take him to court.
Witnesses.
Tina McDonough. Don't bother anymore. I mean, come on, guys. Give us some feedback then, but be polite. Tell her what you think about Tina. Tell her if you appreciate Tina for all the shit she's given me, because you've had so many good videos over the years. Tell her, without Tina, we wouldn't have had 5,500 videos on the internet, and we wouldn't have moved over to Patreon. So is it a cheers to Tina? Is it a cheers to Tina? I mean, because you're not going to understand what bollocks means. She's going to tell the police that everybody hates her. So if we all said cheers, Tina, thanks, Tina. I mean, I won't put words in everyone's mouth. I just think that, you know, you've got to thank Tina for what she's actually done, because she's driven me beyond what I would normally do, because I hate losing. I'm not a loser. I'm a winner. You may get knocked down a few times, but you get up and you dust yourself off and you keep going and you stand by what you believe in. And I stand and believe that training dogs and using discipline is a fantastic tool if used properly. We're not talking about abuse. Oh, never. Hang on. Let's read this one. Let's read this one. They never help the man when silly ass bitches start to give shit about you. Keep it clean, come on, because Tina's only going to complain about you, Fjork boatman. Keep it clean. But you're right. At the end of the day, without Tina, it wouldn't have been so noisy and found you on YouTube and consequently visited for lessons. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you so much indeed. Cheers, Tina. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's the way, everyone. Honestly, Tina, you must be sitting there and you must feel very pleased with yourself that you've created such a nice group of people. People are fighting back, Tina. People are not willing to see these dogs abused. But they're not being abused by people who use discipline, Tina. They're being abused because people who don't use discipline or don't know how to use discipline properly, Tina. Now, Tina, if you'd been disciplined about 5.5, 6 years ago by the police with a restraining order or an ASBO even. An ASBO, you know what an ASBO is even? It's like, behave yourself, you silly woman. Stop plaguing this man. If they'd done their job properly, Tina, and I'm saying that, I'm criticising the police slightly, but if they had given you an ASBO, right, then I think you would have shrunk back into your little garden in the middle of nowhere. What you've got to ask, Tina, is why did you move to Scotland if you have got epilepsy, Tina? And you keep talking about you've got epilepsy, and you keep saying that I called you a spastic. I generally did not know, and I apologize for that, Tina. On here, publicly, I apologize. I didn't know that you were disabled at the time. I knew you were fat and you could hardly walk, but I'm fat. And I've had to live with it, Tina. But you were, weren't you, Tina? You were fat and you could hardly walk, because we've seen the video with Nick Gregory. Remember that one when you fell over, Tina? That was so funny, Tina.
She was quite nice looking in her younger days, though.
See that? Sue said you were quite nice looking in your younger days.
We all were, though, weren't we?
Not quite my cup of tea, Tina.
Well, I think she was.
Well, Sue thinks you were quite nice looking, Tina, in your early days. For me, no, not but for me.
I'm a nasty, horrible woman, and
oh, it's getting silly now, everyone.
What are you, a wife beater as well?
I lost my license because Firearms did not like the way I spoke to them and protecting me from a drug user using this. You've got to be so careful, everybody. And this is the important thing. This is the really important thing. We've got 113 people here and 50 thumbs up. Most of you people in here will be shotgun license holders. Most of you will have guns. Do you keep your guns if you go around threatening people? Do you keep your guns if you're punching people on the nose for no reason at all? If you go out looking for fights, you go out causing trouble, or you're abusive to your wife or anybody, if the police get called round to your house because of your wife is making complaints that you're threatening her, do you keep your guns, everybody? Because that's important. That's important. And what these people don't realize, everybody, that you do not keep your guns. And the lies and slander that Tina is saying, she's accusing the police of turning a blind eye. Turning a blind eye to a man who's made so many threats of aggression to people. If that was the case, I would not have my guns, and I believe I shouldn't have my guns. You have to control yourself. You have to be able to address situations in the right way. It doesn't mean you mustn't stand up for yourself. It doesn't mean you can't fight back, but it's how you fight back. And I want that to be a shining example for anybody out there. I know somebody, I'm not going to mention their name, who their husband and wife split up in the gun dog world. And his wife came round to pick the stuff up with her girlfriend. He told the girlfriend to run. He shot the wife, and then he shot himself. The police have got some terrible situations in the firearms department to make decisions at the spur of the moment. And when people make allegations against you like that, they should be investigated thoroughly. But safety's got to come first. So at no point have I ever said the police didn't have the right to question me. The police didn't have the right to find out what was happening. But to come round and take guns off you because of the allegations that someone in Scotland had made that were false, and they've been proven to be false. The Crown Court judge said, and this is for everybody out there to listen to this, I want the chief of police, that's the top man in the Southwest, a letter on my desk in my court within 1 hour. Is this man a fit person to own a gun or not? You will not take away his tools of his trade on hearsay. What a fantastic judge. What a sensible judge. He didn't just listen to hearsay. He said, show me the proof. He adjourned the court for an hour, Tina. We came back in, and the prosecution said, we have no evidence to prove Mr. Upton made those allegations, made those threats. It's hearsay. He threw the case out and gave me my guns back and said he shall have his guns back within 24 hours. Do not take away a man's tools of his trade. Wasn't that a fantastic win again, Tina? Wasn't that another good win, Tina? You don't mention all these things, do you? You say the police give him his guns back because he knew somebody in the firearms department. The prosecution solicitor was young and they didn't know what they're doing. There was no evidence, Tina. It's simple. It's coming up to 60 minutes, Tina. You've wasted an hour of my life and all these people. But guess what, Tina? We call it you've been owned. You've been owned tonight. You could have had half an hour of that and put your side of the story across, Tina. But you didn't want to.
Yeah, but
You've showed your true colours to everybody on here. This hour was not wasted. Bang on, Chris. Thanks very much, Pierre. Thank you, Robert Jeffrey. Common sense. Do you know, it matters to us people, us caring people in the gun dog world, not gun dog world, in the shooting world. We don't want to bring our sport into disrepute. We don't want to let the side down. I thank Charlie Jacoby from the Field Sports Channel, although I think it was a little bit manipulated, the story, to sensationalize it. Right? I thank him for covering it, because without that, who would cover it? They would have covered it if I'd lost the court case. They would have covered it if I'd lost my guns. Gun dog trainer gets his guns taken off him for threatening people. But no, I stood up. I faced a madding crowd. I went to court. I held my head up high. And guess what that is? You have to take the crime. If you can't do the crime, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. I was not going to take no plea bargaining for anything that I hadn't done. Trust me. So next week, everybody, I really appreciate you all coming in and listening to this crap yet again. And I'm so sorry it wasn't electrifying that I was open. And really, I've been let down on this date, haven't I? I'm a gun dog trainer, mate, and this caused me so much pain and stress. Exactly. And you know what? People have taken their lives. People have taken the law into their own hands. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to let the shooting community down. But we have a right to train dogs within the law. And these people, we have a right to say to these people, go away. She stood you up, Chris. I know, Alan, I'm disappointed. Is everybody disappointed that she stood me up? Because we could have resolved this. I don't think we could have resolved it. Let's be honest. Am I dreaming, aren't I, really? I'm dreaming, aren't I? She couldn't show up in court. To be honest, I didn't have high hopes. Well, I got dressed up specially for nothing, then I. Sue, will you have me for a second-hand date?
Let me think.
See what I'm saying, everyone? See what I'm saying? Chris, how can I stop my dog running in on the flush with a clinker? With a clinker?
Clicker.
No, it says clinker. With a clinker. What you need to do, you need to contact Tina McDowell of Alpha Marsh Gun Dogs, and she will give you a rundown of how to do it with a clinker. At least you gave her the right to reply, Chris, more than she has given you. Exactly. And that's what the message has been held for review. That John Wilson. What cheese is best to give my dog? Well, if it's a real bad behavior, you've got to give strong, mature cheddar. If it's only a little misdemeanor, you can give mild cheddar. But if it's really, really bad, a little bit of gorgonzola on the end of the dog's nose, I'll tell you, it won't mess you up again. It won't mess you up again. I recommend you to all my friends and clients. I believe you're one of the best, mate. What you people have done, you people have kept me strong and pushed me forward with the desire to carry on, because the kind comments from thousands and thousands of people is absolutely fantastic, and I do appreciate that. I think in life sometimes you've got to stand up for what you believe in. You've got to fight fair. I think you'll get caught out if you lie. It's as simple as that. And that's exactly why she has got no evidence of any sort, because she puts a little bit of truth into a total amount of fabrication. It's as simple as that. Keep the faith. We do the right, firm but fair, and we get the desired results and improve us as trainers and our dogs. Exactly, Ian. Exactly. And how many times have we critiqued a video in private of one of our members, and I've said, hang on, you're confusing the dog. Don't do it like that. Do it like this. It's a learning curve. How many people in the gun dog world let's forget about the pet world for a minute. In the gun dog world, will sit down and explain about discipline and corrections. They are in the pet world. They are, and especially in America. I take me hat off to the Americans. They got more bottle than we got in this country because they wouldn't allow things to get banned in the same way as we just seem to turn us a blind eye to it and say, okay, then we'll pretend we don't go shooting. We'll turn the light out on the way out, and we won't advertise the fact. If it's within the law of this land and we go shooting, why can't we go shooting? If that's what we choose to do. I thought we were supposed to be more of a tolerant society. I thought we were supposed to be more forgiving what other people want to do in life. You know, and I try and have a laugh. I try and use a bit of satire, and I've tried my best to get this person off my back. I just want to train dogs. I want to train people. And from this day on, I am asking everybody in the group, if you see something she's going on about, don't even screenshot it. She had every chance to come and debate. She didn't want to debate. She's not got one person coming in her defense, has she? Not one brave person has come into this group on her defense. Anyway, where's my remote control collar?
In the post.
In the post, Sue, said Alan.
I posted it.
Hey, Alan, Harley Quinn's looking absolutely fantastic, isn't he? I'm going to have to use him or use your dog again, because I'll tell you what, I've got no black and whites in my lines anymore at the moment, and I got to keep that line going. So with little
Spit it out.
Come on, Chris, spit it out.
Are we going for Harley?
Should we go for Harley, or would you go for your mad, crazy black and white dog, Alan, that's got loads of drive?
Buzz, wasn't it?
Was it Buzz? Matt Busby in it. So we got Harley. That's why he's called Harley Quinn, because he was put to Harley and he was put to Buzz. So I think he's on here. The owner of Harley Quinn. And what will he tell you about him? Alan, he'll tell you that the dog is fantastic. He'll tell him he's lovely because he's quality. He's real quality. He's looking a real stamp of a dog.
Matthew Clouse said that's where he's been going wrong, using the bloody clinkers rather than a clicker.
Yeah, clinker instead of a clicker. Busby. And I want to thank you all tonight for being on here. We've had 100 and odd people on here most of the night, 56 likes, so half of you liked it. Better than his brother, laugh out loud. Stop it, Paul Jarvis. Honestly. Anyway, shall we wish Tina McDowell a good night? And please, Tina, stop your silliness, because it's not worked, has it? It's not worked. I'm going to go back to dog training, Tina, and take no notice of you. I gave you a platform. You didn't want to take it. You bottled it. You got my number. We even sent you my number. And you know I've got your number. Should we ring her, everyone? Should we actually ring her just to make sure she's out of bed and she's not missed the party?
Yeah, but the problem is, Chris, she's very brave.
She's not worth it. Exactly, Paul Jarvis. I wouldn't have. I just wanted to see what you said. I'm not that I'm bottling it. I just think that she'd then play the victim, wouldn't she? She'd play the victim. No, don't ring her. Yes, please. No. Thank God for that. Night, Tina. There you go, Tina. So you weren't beasted too much, were you, Tina, really, when you think about it? Just a few true home truths, wasn't it? And sleep well, Tina. So look at that. Boo to you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And let's get back next week to a piss up, shall we? Can we say that? Can I actually say that, or will that get used in evidence against me?
Yeah.
I've had some whiskey tonight, but you've not seen me top it up. Cheers to everybody, and thanks so much for your support, everybody. And this is one happy dog trainer from sunny Cornwall who's got no customers, not because of Tina on the calendar this time, because of the virus. And I said to someone the other day, I think the problem, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to class Tina as a virus. And it might not kill me, but I just got to learn to live with it, because it ain't going away. So That's what we're going to do from now on. I've said my piece 12 months on, and that's the end of this. I then want to move on and carry on training. And whatever group she's on kicking off, I'm not interested. I'm just going to let her continue, because she's just a sad, sad woman who's got nothing better to do in life. And I think the police will be proud of me that I've addressed it in the right way. I think the shooting community should be reasonably proud of me. I have a right to defend my life and my business, and my good name, But at the end of the day, you're going to get some nasty people on the internet have got a vendetta against you for no reason, and you just got to learn to live with it. It's part of parcel. If you put your head above the parapet, you're going to be fired out. And it's like people like George Best. What a player he was. Yes, he had his problems, but some people would do nothing but look for his negative side, not his positive side. None of us are perfect, everybody. I mean, if I was perfect, I wouldn't have Sue. I've had to just put up with her, really. I've had to take second best. I could have had Tina.
I think Ian's wrong.
Ian's wrong. Tina, is history. It's history. Job done.
No.
Well, it is for me, because I'm definitely moving on. I've been told I'm not allowed to use the word snowflakes because they get offended. Right? I'm not allowed to use certain words, but I'm sorry. This is my platform, and as long as I'm not abusive or overly rude, then I'm allowed to have my opinion. And I think that too many people are so triggered and easily offended these days. Imagine what they'd had to go through, what I've gone through. The shit for 7 years. It's enough to drive anyone up the wall. But at the end of the day, I'm still standing because I'm not a snowflake. I believe in standing up for what you believe in. So that's Chris Upton signing off. See you all Sunday in Patreon, where we can have a proper chat and put the world to rights. And keep sending them videos, and I'll keep critiquing them. That's the word you want, critiquing them. Constructive criticism, not just criticism. I just don't want to give everybody criticism. It's constructive criticism. So thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye, everybody. Good night from Chris and Sue.